You know that feeling you're listening to your favorite podcast and you think, hey, I could totally do this. It's a great dream to have. But there's a really harsh reality that stops most people dead in their tracks. So let's dive into this problem and figure out how you can actually beat the odds.
Okay, here's the number you have to burn into your brain. 90%. According to Forbes, a staggering 90% of podcasts never even make it past their third episode. I mean, 3 episodes. That's it. Most are over before they've even had a chance to begin.
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And spoiler alert, it's not about luck, and it's not about landing some famous guest right out of the gate. It's about having a real strategy. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the exact framework that separates the successful 10% from, well, everyone else.
First things first, to really get the challenge, you have to picture what we're calling the podcasting cliff. Think of it like a great filter, where the overwhelming majority of new shows just fall off. It's a really steep and sudden drop.
Now, as brutal as that first drop-off is, hold on, because it gets even crazier. So only 10% survive past episode 3. But of that tiny group that makes it, another 90% of them fail before they even hit episode 20. When you do the math, wow, the long-term success rate just plummets to a measly 1%.
So how in the world do you survive that cliff? Well, it all starts with answering one single, absolutely critical question. You have to find your why.
And you really have to ask yourself this and be blunt about it. Why do you truly want to do this? Because I want to start a podcast isn't a real reason, is it? It's a wish. A real why is your fuel. Is it to build your business? To help a specific community? You have to get honest and you have to get specific. Let's look at a real-world example, right? Tim Garrity, the author of our source material, started his podcast, Bricks and Risk, with these 3 crystal-clear goals. They're specific, they're actionable, and you can actually measure if they're working. See? This isn't some vague hobby. It's a tool built with a specific job to do. And that's the whole point right there. Your why is what's going to drag you through those late nights editing, the tough scheduling, and those moments where you feel like absolutely no one is listening. Purpose. That's what creates commitment. Okay, so once you really nail down your why, it's time to get practical. It's time to build the actual skeleton of your show. And this means making some key decisions about the hows and the whos.
So, first up, the big one, production. Are you going to be a one-person army trying to handle everything yourself, or are you going to bring in some professional help? This is a huge decision right at the start.
So here's the crucial trade-off you got to think about. Doing it yourself, yeah, it's cheaper up front, but it costs you something way more valuable, your time. A studio, on the other hand, costs money, sure, but it buys you expertise, top-notch equipment, and most importantly, it saves you that time.
And there it is. That's the secret sauce right there. For anyone who's serious about building a show that lasts, the time you save by not having to fiddle with production, that is your most valuable asset, period. It's time you can put into creating amazing content instead.
Okay, next piece of the puzzle. How often are you going to show up? This is your publishing cadence. Your audience needs to know when to expect you. If your schedule is all over the place, you'll never build that loyal following. Consistency is absolutely king. Now listen up, because this is a pro tip that could literally save your entire podcast. Before you even launch, you need to bank your content. If you're publishing monthly, have at least 3 episodes done and ready. If you're going weekly, you need a whopping 12. Why? It's simple. Life happens. This buffer ensures you never, ever miss a release.
All right, the final piece of your framework. It's maybe the most obvious one, but you'd be surprised how often it gets overlooked. Who are you actually talking to? If you can't answer that in one sentence, you are going to run out of things to talk about by like episode 4.
And this is where it all just clicks together. See how this connects? Your why is like a compass that points you straight to your ideal listener. If your purpose is helping first-time homebuyers, boom, that's your audience. If it's connecting with others in your industry, there you go. It makes everything so much simpler.
So you've got your why, you've got your framework, but there's one final boss you have to defeat. And honestly, it's the one that kills more podcasts than any technical glitch. Fear. The fear that you're going to look or sound stupid.
Let's just be brutally honest here for a second. We all stink at the start, period. Your first few episodes, they're probably not going to be your best work. And you know what? That's totally okay. Nobody starts out as a polished pro. You have to give yourself permission to be a beginner. Getting better isn't some kind of magic. It's just like going to the gym.
Every single episode you record, every interview you do, that's another rep. And those reps are what build your skills and, just as importantly, your confidence. You just have to push through that awkward early stage.
Okay, so you do all this hard work. You find your purpose, you build the framework, you fight through the fear. What's on the other side? What's the big reward? Why is this whole grind even worth it?
Well, this is what it can look like. For the Bricks and Risk podcast, sticking with it led to real, tangible results. It generated new business for them. It built incredible relationships. It created a whole community. And it even inspired other people to start their own thing. The podcast became so much more than a show. It became a real asset.
So there you have it, the roadmap to avoid the podcasting cliff and join that 10% club. The framework is simple, but it's not easy. It takes real purpose and serious consistency. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?